So, North Dakota students have a racist Snapchat that they posted, and the campus is up in arms about it. And we're going to talk about it. Let's take a look at the photo first. In a Facebook post on Tuesday, UND student Itande Maloke shared a photo of 3 laughing white students in a dorm room, and there was a photo that they snapped that had the caption, "Locked the black bitch out." So they locked the student out of her dorm room, took her phone, took a photo of it, and then Snapchatted it. And that's what Itande said. "My friend left her phone in the room, and the 3 kids picture below took her phone and took the Snapchat picture. They captioned it, 'Locked the black bitch out.' My friend was not aware that they had done this and didn't even realize they had put this on her Snapchat story until another friend of ours pointed it out." And as you know, we've covered racism on college campuses a lot on both this show and on the Young Turks Together. And University of North Dakota said that they were aware of the incident and in the process of investigating it. And they also said that what is portrayed is not part of the community values that we expound. We take seriously issues related to respect for all. So they're on top of it. And I want to get your thoughts on it.
How are they on top of it?
I mean, they're investigating it. They're trying to figure out what happened.
Okay.
Like, obviously, you can't just expel 3 students
right.
just out of willy-nilly because
it's not
of a
what I was
Snapchat
saying.
photo.
I just mean that, like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted hearing about these stories of racism on college campuses where you are supposed to be expanding your mind and getting outside of your bubble and growing and educating yourself and combating against some racist ignorance that we all sort of are programmed at a certain age, depending on your upbringing, to inherently believe to be true and believe to be okay.
Or believe to fight.
I'm just so disappointed in how often we are having to talk about these stories, and I'm also disappointed in just sort of like blanket statements from different institutions. But at the same time, Hassan, we've talked about this before. I still don't specifically know what is the correct discipline in situations like this, because I think that
we have different opinions on how to combat this or how
I don't think so. I think because for me it's like, we are not born racists. We've said this before. We're not born racist. You're programmed to have, racist beliefs, or even just not understanding the sort of the history of, of racial oppression. And I think that it has to come down to education. And the reason why this just sucks the most is because that's on college, on college campuses. That's when you're supposed to really, grow your mind and get outside of yourself and realize that there are people that are different than you are, that, that look differently, express themselves differently, that come from a different cultural background, and you should be celebrating that, not just posting dumb shit on someone's Snapchat. I'm just disappointed. This isn't supposed to be our generation. We're supposed to know better.
No, this is supposed to be our generation, dude. Look, this is every generation that was before us as well. Racism is still alive and well in America. It's just that now that we have access to social media and we have basically access to everyone's private opinions and lives, and we have this other tool such as Twitter and Facebook that can make those private moments very public, that we see it on a broader scale, just how prevalent it is. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot worse shit that goes on behind closed doors. There's a lot more stuff that goes on as far as racist abuse everywhere around us that we are not even aware of, and it's going to continue to happen. It's just that social media is exposing that right now, and I think that that's a important first step in ridding the world of racism, if that's even a possible thing that can happen. I mean, I think it could. We're seeing polarization right now, but I think that's backlash against all of these private moments being exposed to the public. That polarization will inevitably get to a certain point that it's so undeniable and so volatile that we will all get together as a community and say, we need to fix this problem. This is a very real issue. So it's not an easy process. We've definitely come a very long way. But I mean, think about it this way. 20 years ago, if there was such a thing as Snapchat, right? Or if there was any sort of, if let's say for the sake of this hypothetical argument that you could post a photo on a newspaper because that was the best form of getting the word out, right? You could post a photo of teenagers being racist to their, dormitory roommate on the New York Times, let's say, on like the third page or fourth page of the New York Times, there wouldn't be this sort of discussion around it. The people in support of what these people did, what these kids did, would be larger than the number of people that are against it. And that, to me, shows progress. That, to me, shows awareness in the broader public about how racism affects certain ethnic groups, certain backgrounds, certain races. And that's a good thing. I want to leave this on a positive note, that awareness might make it seem like it's bad in the short run, but it's actually a good thing. It's actually a positive thing that we're becoming more aware of this, and inevitably it will get even worse, but then it'll become better.
I think you make a really good point about how we now have access to people's sort of private thoughts or public thoughts. I'm thinking about on Twitter, Instagram, or things that they just want to keep among their group of friends, and that is good because it allows for us to be able to critique sort of antiquated views better. And I think what my advice would be to any of our viewers who maybe have seen offensive or insensitive Snapchats or tweets or whatever from your friends, you have to hold your friends accountable. And there's a way to do it in a way where you're not, if you're afraid of losing friends or whatnot, you have to hold your friends accountable because it does come down to us and acting responsibly and you're on the right side of history. Calling people out doesn't make you a bitch, okay? It's just the right thing to do. And so be a bitch with me and call people out.
Just show that it's not cool is
how Thank you. It's not cool.
Anyway, okay, but we want to hear from you guys. Have you ever experienced racism on college campuses amongst your friends? How have you tried to prevent it from happening? Leave us your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm Hassan Piker. This is Grace Baldridge, and we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.